Hello. Welcome to Mystic Moon. It's winter. It's cold. Dark already. Daylight slipping by. We can look forward to like another 3 months or 4 months of cold, harsh weather. And here in the United States, we're set in a few weeks, 6 weeks, to have a new president. So let's explore this dark winter. And since we're going to have a new president, we might as well call it Trump's dark winter. What can we expect this winter? Let's not take a trip today. Let's just sit comfortably in our own snuggly house. It's just too cold. Even the thought of what could happen this winter. So let's just sit tight. Inhale, relax, and let's let our spirits mingle. What is it going to be like? Trump's dark winter. When he comes in office in 6 weeks. January 20th, 2025. Now we hear all sorts of things about 2025. All sorts of prophecies. We even look towards Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce, he foreshadows a lot of negative, bombastic things happening in 2025. And then we have someone who could usher in a lot of his prophecies, a lot of his visions. Now, Edgar Cayce was born about 150 years ago. He died, I guess, 80 years ago. So all this it's not recent. It's not recent. And he was a little man, a big man in many ways, from Kentucky. So he wasn't very savvy in terms of like promotion, I would say. It's something that just happens step by step. But we're not here to talk about Edgar Cayce so much as to figure out how Trump is going to treat our winter. Now, we do know that Trump wants to bomb Iran. He wants to bomb them right away, even though Iran hasn't had a physical conflict with any nation for maybe a couple hundred years. They haven't done anything. They're quiet. They just dress differently. They have a bit of beard here and there. And they are like tight. They're tight. They're tight. They are within themselves. And they don't happen to like a lot of things that go on in a lot of other countries. I'm not advocating Iran. I'm simply, from my own association, which is not very, well, here and there. But I do know that decades and decades, scientists in many of the colleges were all Iranians, while a lot of other countries and nationals were not bothering with nuclear science, material science, etc. The Iranians were. They're more serious type of people in some senses. They don't have the time for a lot of things that in the West they find time for. But we're just trying to see if Trump attacks Iran. That's following the Wolfson Doctrine, which is very popular during Bush's time, George W. Bush, which was knocking off one country after another in the Middle East. Knocking off like, Libya, it was like Syria, Lebanon, exactly what's happening now. So are we going the full Monty? Is that what we're going to see, the dark winter? Is that going to be, we're going to have war, and then we have Trump tariffs coming. Now, who are you fooling when you are $300 trillion in debt and growing, even though that's not the official, look at this pop out, 10 of Swords. That's not the official thing. That's not the official amount. But we do know that the country is in debt more than it could ever pay back. We know that. We know that our country is slipping. So I don't see, and we're sending more and more military industrial type monies here and there to fight instead of no bridges, no highways, no housing for the masses, no reduction in food prices. No. And these tariffs are supposed to give pain to other countries. Well, they have their BRICS, they have their trading partners, they have it already together. Who is going to get hurt? Who is going to get hurt? It seems like it's going to be you and I. You and I. We already know that the price of eggs, the price of protein type meats, are astronomical, and they're not going to get any cheaper. They're not going to say, "Oh, we'll give you this and this and that, and it's going to get down to normal." No, it's never going to get down to normal. You just have to eat less, which is why you will almost think that it used to be eat what you want. Your weight doesn't matter. Everybody's getting thin now. Everybody's getting skinny, right? Because you're shrinking that stomach, so you won't eat that much. You won't crave that much, and your exercise. That's always good. Exercise is good. But we're getting back to like Trump's dark winter. So we're following the Wolferson plan, which was George Bush's time, which was in the 80s, I guess. I forgot. But you can check it out. Now, this dark winter, it doesn't seem like, okay, we're going to have high food prices and we're going to have war. Now we still have the drones. And the drones, even if they disappear in a few days and they're not in the sky anymore, they already had a good run. So they already know how to do it. Practice makes perfect, right? We have all these scenarios, of which the people are there with their mouth gaping, watching politicians. We have the Eight of Wands. Politicians just exercising whatever phantom ideas they want to and telling us it's all for our health. These are vitamins for our mental health. Vitamins, vitamins, call them what you like. Seems like people are running around and just trying to stagger elements of it's not safe, it's not good. So we're eating a lot of crow, right? We're eating a lot of crow. So let's just see. Okay, we're going to see. Is this Trump update? Is this going to be a dark? How is this winter shaping up? We know that heating prices have gone up. It's miserables. It's like expensive, and what are we getting for our expense? We can't even go home and rest. We're getting all sorts of prophecies. And one thing we know, too, about picking up 4 random cards, maybe 5. One thing we know about the movements now, they seem to be, everybody's like legacy. They're going back. History does repeat itself. We know that. And especially we know that once we're like involved in foreign wars that are like been fighting for hundreds and thousands of years, which we're only a few hundred years old ourselves. This particular country that we settled or took the real estate from the indigenous people that lived here already, but we've gotten over that. We're not talking about that. We're like, might makes right. We're into that kind of scope, which is the bombshell for all of us in being human, and it's not cool. So let's see now. Will Trump dark winter look like? We'll go here. All right, we have the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups means, I guess we're going to give him a lot of support because, from Biden. Biden's leaving a super mess. And if he can, and he has, in effect, started World War III. We all know that, even though it hasn't been declared because our government does not want us to use that word yet. Okay. But we do know that we're on a lot of people's enemy list. And maybe for some places, good reason. And I can't imagine, too, how the Ukrainians, we're supplying their weapons, and not just us, I'm talking France and Germany. We're supplying weapons, and their houses look like shit. They're all blown up. They're living in tents. They're like astronomically dying off, and they have a miserable life. Why should they think about us having a really cute, quaint holiday season Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, whatever. And they're like living in a shithole, right? They're living in a shithole. So how can they feel like, misery loves company? And if we keep identifying with all these aggressions, which we are, that's, you can see where it's going. All right. So this is a receptive, the Queen of Cups. The next thing we have here, we have that Ace of Pentacles again. The Ace of Pentacles. Well, that could be the way that it's like, these are bright ideas, and they're, what kind of idea? Raising the tariff, starting a war in Iran, continuing the war saga in Ukraine, Gaza, Lebanon. I'm losing. Oh, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, China. Well, the whole world. Well, not the whole world. And we see an optimistic sun. What kind of sun? We're going to have to look upon that sun. We're going to have to look upon the Ace of Pentacles too. And then we have these two. Well, we have a lot of like enthusiasm for what's going on, because here we have the Knight of Pentacles. The message is very important. The message in the whole, change of guard. So that seems to be able, and we have the Empress. Well, it seems like there's a whole lot of positivity going on here. Positivity going into this dark winter. So there's going to be, because we have, what is this? Is this? We have the Empress, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Sun, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Let's take this apart. First of all, let's see what the Sun is all about. What is so positive about a dark winter? What is it? Is this a good sign, or is this going into all this chaos? Well, it's going to be good to get, like, Sleepy Joe out of the way. We don't have to look at him. Please, Joe, please just go in a rocking chair, sit in front of a fireplace. You made a mess out of the country, or the country you really didn't, give anybody any vitamin shots, any enthusiasm. No, you let us down. You let us down. He let us down. It's just been one big, money grab, and the money hasn't, like, between lockdown, between shutting down all the businesses and then starting wars and giving all incredibly sums of money away to everybody else, to your son being an artist. That's the least of it, probably. And all the long, forget it. It's just too much. All right, we're going to look at the Sun. Okay. I'm going to use this one. These three cards, let's describe the Sun. Writing, is this a good sun, or is this what kind of sun is this? The Page of Cups. Celebration. Yeah, that's a good sun. Oh, look, working together. Well, there seems to be a lot of, like, enthusiasm for a change of guard. And that's good. That's good. That's good. So this is a positive sun. And this is like he's going to have the country already invigorated just by him being on the leadership thing. So that's a good point. This is definitely a good sun. This is a point of the cheer. The cheer is on. The cheer is on. So now we know that, okay, so let's look at this Ace of Pentacles. So we know the Sun is a positive sun. Got that. Let's look at the Ace of Pentacles and see, what is that? People are all going to go for, like, let's give him hell. Let's give him hell. Let's spread the shit around. I guess that's the way it goes so far. Let's look at this Ace of Pentacles. All right. Now the Ace of Pentacles. Let's say it's 3. Okay. 3 cards. Let's look at these Ace of Pentacles here. Oh, is this okay, get this one. Well, it's going to be one of evaluation. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And we have the Pisces withdrawal. The Pisces hangman. And that means that they're not going to be, there's a little hesitation. I mean, it seems as though, and then we have the Ten of Swords. So it seems as though we're going to have a big cheer. We're going to have like all these like I'm gonna, and then we're going to reflect a little bit. But by the time we reflect a little bit, the cheer squad, among a lot of cheering because we were so happy to have a change of administration, that we have. But we're going to realize that like the longer we deliberate and the longer we think things out, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. But that we don't know. It may be too late to change course. The next thing let's look at this Knight of Pentacles. All right, let's look at this Knight. So this is like this Ace of Pentacles is realization that war, attacking Iran, following the Wolfson doctrine, which is already, they've been trying to get that done for, how long has George Bush been out? At least 20 years. At least 20 years, maybe more. And we can see that it's not a good idea. We're getting more and more in a financial hole, and we're getting more and more grumble. Things are getting more expensive, and the masses are not going to get, even though they're rah, 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 and thank God it's not, we can't get out of Biden's slump. We cannot get out. We can't like just talk and cheer and drink and yay, our way out of Biden's slump. We can't do it. So let's see what this Knight of Pentacles is. Knight of Pentacles. This dark winter is going to be a lot of rah, 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 rah. A lot of ceremonies, a lot of like ritualistic ceremonies, which is just a lot of dinners, a lot of like photo shoots and stuff like that so far. Now this Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. What's the message? What is the message that like is loud and clear for all of us? For all of us, the message for all of us. For all of us. Let's see, this one started speaking to me, this one too. Take 4 cards out for the message. All right, the message. Well, the message is, festive, joyous, we will succeed, Western way of life, Western this, Western that, is USA, USA, USA. So that's the message. Okay, all right. I know. However, reality is going to bite. Reality bites. Reality bites, and you have to be prepared and ready to like fight for all your gifts, all your freedoms, all your this and that, it's a very unsteady atmosphere. It's one of which that you have to look behind, over your shoulder, and be prepared. Be prepared to run, flee, fight, whatever. And we're all in this together. Of course, this togetherness is maybe virtual, not exactly. This is the message. We're all in this together, and we have, it's great. America's great. Western stuff is great, but we have to be prepared and watch your back. The message is going to be, it's all about, Donald Trump with his ego, Donald Trump with like you and I together. Donald Trump is a great like organizer, and he's a great person to, he's a great cheerleader. He is. He excites a lot of people, and that's going to be the message. And he gets enthusiasm going. He does. You got to give him credit for that. He's great. He's great in that manner. He's great. as opposed to Joe Biden. It's really hard to get, like, Joe Biden goes into the angry old man thing too much. And besides, he's made a mess. He has, maybe by design, I don't know. He's made a mess. And there's no way that Trump or anyone can clean up that mess in a short period of time, certainly not in a matter of months. And it's thick and thin. And we don't even know if Trump is going to be able to clean up the mess. We don't know. If the next administration coming in can clean up the mess the way it's like, we're so far in debt. We're so demoralized. We have more we don't have than more than we have a surplus of. So it's very questionable. It's very, very questionable. But the message is following the sun, that, a lot of like PR, a lot of we're together, we're the best, we're great. But we do know the reality is falling apart. We know it's falling apart. We know it. It's like the last hurrah, hooray. In fact, it doesn't have to be. We know that. And it won't be. But right now, unless we gain a consciousness and empathy for our fellow human beings, and I do mean our fellow human beings, we're, So between, we have the tariffs, we have immigration, we have they're taking our jobs, there are no jobs. It's unsteady. It's unsteady. It's going to be a whole lot of like blabber, blah, 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 blah. Now, we have here the Empress and we have the Queen of Cups. People are going to be receptive. I see right now we're going to have like a lot of drama. And this winter we're going to have a lot of drama. And first we're going to be, if Trump is actually able to become appointed January 20th, 2025, we're going to have a lot of chatter, a lot of roar. But let's look at things, calm down, and let's look at this. Let's look at this. People are receptive to change, and that's good. That's good. They're going to be receptive to whatever he does. Thinking, but for those who think about it, are we really going on the right path? Are we really going, is this the right path? Is this the right path? We have to think about, is this the way to go? And that's something we won't know until the actual inaugural episode ceremony happens. And right now, as it stands, we're going to have to do some more investigation about will there or will there not be more obstacles to Trump coming in. Because with his immigration policy, his tariff policy, his I'm going to clean up the swamp, these are all cute phrases. But in actuality, it would cost trillions of dollars to get rid of, send immigrants back. Trillions. You don't send 60 million people back, even the gasoline. The conditions. You just don't do. You just, is that possible? Is that possible? Is that possible? So what is really applicable? And of course, we have, lots of problems. So, this is here, the Ace of Pentacles. That is the core of the message. So, all the rest is hoopla and just relief. But we have to see later on, we'll have to see and do another read, which we're not going to do right now. But if Trump will actually, be able to be seated as president. He's acting de facto president right now. He is de facto president. But that could just be to save Biden face while he does what he does, while he's doing what he's doing. Getting deals is distraction. And we need a distraction. We need showtime. And we're getting it. So anyway, I'm going to end this with what I just said. And we'll have to reflect upon this and see. So relax and think about it. All right? Thank you very much. And for those subscribers who joined me on this journey, thank you. And for those who haven't subscribed, well, thank you for joining. If you have any comments, please leave them. Bye-bye.